So this is also, if you don't want to listen multiple bootstrap things, just listen something like this. There are something in the form of some branches. So there are more than 2, 3, 5, 10, or many kind of data sets which are somehow in the form of a, a specific branch or group of branches. Each data set has different kind of such features. You can easily go for implementation of this kind of random forest algorithm, and for each bootstrap sample a decision tree is used to train. During the construction of each tree, at every node, a node subset of features is selected, and the best split is determined from these selected features. This is the pure part of training. Now, prediction. It For a new input, each individual decision tree in the forest makes a prediction. For classification tasks, the final prediction is determined by a majority vote among the predictions of all the individual trees. And then for regression tasks, the final prediction is typically the average of the predictions from all the individual trees. Now, what are the advantages and disadvantages? In case of advantage, the reduced overfitting is compared to a single decision trees. Then higher accuracy, even with large data sets or missing data sets, can handle both classification and regression problems. It can estimate features importance. Now, what are the disadvantages? Can be computationally intensive and slower for the prediction due to the large number of trees branching and sub-branching. The black box nature can make it difficult to interpret the individual decisions of each tree. Now, if you want to see the advantages and disadvantages in the form of graphics or images, you can see here higher accuracy, robustness, overfloating, so computationally expensive to overfitting. These are disadvantages. What are the best implementation? What are the most cost effective part here, where the complexity lies? So these are some of the things which you need to understand in while you are using any kind of algorithm. But from my perspective, it is much faster with respect to support vector machines or artificial neural networks, as I have implemented this in coding. So if you are using more kind of Boolean things, 0, 1, or -1, as I mentioned in the last class, where we were discussing about sigmoidal function, logistic regression, something. So where we are, the logistic kind of work is mostly handling in terms of 0, 1, -1. So if you are keeping most of the outcome as possible, as much as possible, in the form of 0, 1, or -1, it will increase the efficiency and reduce the computation cost. Now, if you want to understand it much better, for example, what decision tree algorithm and random forest algorithm, then you can also go for comparative things between these two algorithms. It is simple and intuitive, model easy to interpret. Random forest is less prone to overfitting, better at managing bias, variance, trade-off, scalable. Disadvantages: it is decision tree is prone to overfitting, less effective with complex or noisy data, while random forest is more complex model, harder to interpret. And in terms of application, where it is best applied, decision tree is best applied for medical diagnosis, where transparency and interpretability are important. Random forest is best used in predicting customer churn, predicting stock prices, credit risk analysis, where handling a large number of features and reducing overfitting are quite important. Now, when to use random forest? So, for example, in case of large data sets, random forest can handle large data sets with a high number of features and can provide accurate results. Nonlinear relationships. Random forest can handle nonlinear relationships between features and target variables, making it a good choice for complex data sets. It can easily handle the missing values and it can make good feature selection. So random forest can be used for feature selection by calculating feature importance, which helps in identifying the most important predictors. Then multi-class classification, of course, as in terms of definition you have seen. So random forest can be used for multi-class classification problems where the target variable can take on multiple values. Now, the same things can be seen in terms of detailed map and textual presentation also. So this figure, which is quite easy to understand the entire random forest implementation and working procedure. So if you are clear from the past slides, then you can easily understand and make your own the workflow for the implementation and application of your project goal or on your project goal. Now, this one, if we are talking in terms of algorithm, then it will look like training samples, first step, then extracting the data in the form of matrix in different dimensions, random choose. So randomly you can choose a training set for this tree by estimating the prediction error of the tree. Now go for random choose, then calculation of the best split based on some kind of training set, data set. Each tree is fully grown and not pruned. Now your sample will go ahead for random model and then go for decision tree or class labeling. Now, this is complete textual details for the random forest implementation, like preparation of data set, construction of the base classifiers, randomized putative sampling, training base classifiers, then integrate voting or go for selection process and make final result prediction and conclusion. So the same thing can be seen in a way of further class identification for the any kind of data set for by implementing different sample types, and it can be bulk number of samples and different types of samples also. Now, if you are interested to see how could we start in Python, what are the library files which we need to import before we start writing the random forest algorithm code application? Then this is how you can start, and these are quite simple to use and write the codes. Now, broader application of random forest, some of these things, what are the significance, how it can be used. For example, it has importance in terms of robustness, in terms of versatility. For example, ability to handle mixed data types. So diverse data sets can be easily handled by using random forest algorithm. Robustness, it combines multiple trees to reduce sensitivity to noise and the outliers. Now, it can be supportive for independent tree training for faster processing. It can easily handle the missing values and it can also address the best feature selection. So this is overall about the random forest significance, advantages, disadvantages, use cases, and best application area. So thank you very much for today. And then in the next part, we will proceed